So let's get started. As many of you know, Jones & Bartlett Learning has been a leading content provider of nursing textbooks ranging from the BSN level to the advanced practice level for more than a decade. This slide is a strong representation of some of our titles, but not all of them. Based on the need within higher education and the healthcare recommendations from both the Institute of Medicine and the AACN for a more highly educated nursing workforce, we've leveraged our knowledge and our expertise in the area of BSN content to create an innovative courseware solution, which we've called the Online RN to BSN Suite of Courses and Curriculum. This curriculum is comprised of 12 instructionally designed courses. And all of these courses were created in collaboration with subject matter experts, course writers, instructional designers, and practicing clinicians. In addition, these courses have also been critically reviewed by nursing instructors just like you. As I mentioned, each of these courses has been instructionally designed for the online learning environment to enhance the student and the learning experience. And this is very important for those of you who might be moving into an online course, or if you're already teaching an online course, you understand the importance of having a course that has been truly instructionally designed by experts. And when Mary Colleen goes into the product demonstration in just a few minutes, you'll see how this all works. Each of these courses has also been aligned to the critical nursing standards of the AACN Essentials, the QSIN competencies, as well as the IOM core competencies. And I also have some mapping detailed information for you in just a few slides. Each of these courses draws also on the robust content from Jones & Bartlett Learning textbooks or a group of textbooks. And because several textbooks have at times been used to create each course, we have a custom print text or ebook option for you that's available through our Publish custom platform. Each of our courses has also been created so that it's mobile and tablet compatible. Great for those students who want to learn on the go. We know many of these students will be taking courses at night, and they need a device that can travel. They need a device that's dependable so that they can access their course content anytime, anywhere. In terms of the number of seat hours, each course is 9 to 12 seat hours per lesson, and is the equivalent of 3 credit hours. Each of these courses is also available individually or can be purchased as part of a curriculum solution. So as you can see, there's a lot of flexibility in terms of how these courses are delivered. Great for the hybrid environment, great for an on-ground course or an online learning class as well. We also have flexibility in terms of the purchasing options for these courses. If you have a nursing informatics course and you're interested in adding an online component, you can do that. If you're just starting a new program, this is a great foundation to build your program on as well. So a lot of value add in terms of the content and the flexibility, and you'll see that a little bit later in the presentation in the product demonstration. This slide here features the complete list of our RN to BSN course offering. We have nursing informatics, professional practice and role development in nursing, nursing leadership, nursing ethics, global health nursing, community health nursing, nursing research, financial management in nursing, introduction to case management, introduction to managed healthcare, transcultural nursing, health assessment for the experienced nurse. So these 12 courses comprise the main curriculum, and these courses were selected and created based on the content that we specialize in, and also the capability to map these to the key nursing standards. So let's talk a little bit about the mapping. So this grid here that you see has a few different colors, and these colors are to accentuate the fact that we have done the mapping at the course level. So as you can see at the top of the slide, this mapping represents our nursing research course, and we've worked specifically with our course writing team, and they've mapped the course in accordance to the AACN Essentials, It's also been mapped to the IOM core competencies as well as the QSIN competencies as well. One thing that you're not seeing, because this grid just represents a snippet of the mapping effort, is a key that's at the very end of the document, which actually shows you how each of these points map, for instance, to the scholarship for evidence-based practice, as well as the IOM and the QSIN competencies. So you can see how the learning objectives map to each of the competencies, and we have a robust document for each of our 12 courses. But just wanted to show you how serious we are about these mapping efforts, and that we've taken a lot of time to put these courses together so that they are a robust offering that map to these critical standards. The next slide here goes into a little bit more detail about each of the AACN essentials. So for instance, if you take the second essential, Basic Organizational and Systems Leadership for Quality Care and Patient Safety, that maps to our Leadership in Management in Nursing course. And as you can see, all the way down the line, we've taken each essential and then mapped it to each one of the courses. So these are just scratch the surface in terms of the level of documentation, in terms of mapping that we offer. And this information is definitely available for your review, but we thought it was really important to present this to you in case you had questions about the content. So some of you might be asking, why an online curriculum? Well, we know and we understand that the healthcare landscape is changing, and that colleges and universities, as well as hospitals and healthcare organizations, are really challenged with keeping up with the demands of creating a more highly educated and highly trained nursing workforce. And when you employ an online curriculum, you have the opportunity to reach a broader spectrum of students. You can increase your course enrollments, and this allows you to be more competitive within the landscape of higher education. At this time, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Mary Colleen. She's going to conduct the product demonstration. And while I do this and just transfer the presenter rights to Mary Colleen, you might see a little bit of delay in your screen. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Mary Colleen.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our presentation. I'm so happy that you were able to join us today, and I'm really looking forward to being able to show you this course. I'm just going to be sharing my desktop with you, so you're going to see the screen go blank, and then all of a sudden we should be seeing the Nursing Informatics course. And right now I'm showing you the RN to BSN Nursing Informatics course, which I'm so thrilled to be able to show you. This is in the Jones and Bartlett Learning Management System, which is called Navigate, and that's an instance of Moodle. So if you are familiar with Moodle, then you are definitely going to see things that look very familiar to you. The other thing that I'd like to point out at this time, and Jen has mentioned, that these courses, although they are served on our learning management system, we can absolutely make these available in cartridges that will work on your own learning management system. So if you're using any of the major learning management systems like Blackboard or Desire to Learn, we can make these available to you. Okay? So I'm going to just touch a little bit on what I'm going to show you, and then we'll get moving right into the actual content. So as I pointed out, we're showing the Nursing Informatics course, and this is in Moodle. So I'm just going to kind of show you an overview of how the actual course looks. And this is a 15-week or has 15 lessons, and this can be implemented in many different ways. But presently, we offer this in 15 lessons. And the one thing I wanted to point out to you that is really important is our commitment to really offering online learning solutions that can be used in multiple ways, both in hybrid solutions or traditional online or even on ground. But we really want to empower the learner, and so one thing I'd like to point out is this repeatable design. And really the focus of that is that we want students to really understand and grasp how to use the product and come up to speed very quickly. So once they really understand how to use one lesson, they're really going to be able to jump into any one of these lessons, and they're going to spend more time learning and less time learning how to use the product. So that's something that you can be assured of. I'm going to start with the course tools and resources, and then I'm going to move into one of the lessons. As you can see, we have this banner that clearly defines what the course is. It gives the student an overview of the actual course. And then as you can see on the both left and right sides, there's some navigational tools that are inherent tied to the Moodle interface. And I'll point out some of those in a little bit. Under the course tools and resources, one thing I want to point out right away is you should be able to see that on some of these items, they will be grayed out. And we're looking at the instructor side of the course right now. So if we were looking at the student side of this course, they would not see the instructor resource guide or these assessment suggested responses. That's a purposeful decision. We've hidden those from students. Instructors have the power and the editing ability to really hide or show any of these items, but that's a default function within the course. So again, giving you some understanding of some of the things that you can do with the course to really customize it and make it your own. Again, a focus of us, of our purpose here and a big emphasis is the ability to really customize these courses and make them really user-friendly to your own curriculum needs. So again, we'll be pointing that out. I just want to point out some of the tools that we have under course, the tools and resources. We have this syllabus document, and I'm going to show you that right now. That is a Microsoft Word document, so very accessible and easy to edit for an institution or an instructor. You can really make it your own, and as you can see, this really points out the course objectives tied to the high-level objectives for this learning. It has the required learning resources, so points out the actual text that is associated with this course, and then additional learning resources, and then a breakout of how the course lessons could be implemented, and again, completely editable. So we've had people using this course in many different applications, 8-week courses, 10-week courses, as well as 15-week courses. The next item I want to show you is the learning objectives, and these are course-level learning objectives that open up in a separate window. These are built directly into the Moodle Learning Management System, and they open, as I mentioned, in a separate window, so it allows the student to toggle back and forth and really refer to those course objectives as they move through the actual course. We have a great tool, this interactive glossary, so useful to students, and it allows students to browse or search. They can search, there's a search box right here, or browse alphabetically, and again, allows them to have access to all of the key terms within the actual course. We have an instructor resource guide. This, again, is also built in Microsoft Word, and again, very editable, so if an institution wants to make this available or add various bits of information that are unique to that institution, they can do this. This is something that I feel is extremely unique in offering an online course. Many times you will not see a document, an integration guide like this, where we really take the time to point out the features of the course, really allow the instructor information about the actual way to implement this using great tools and tips for online learning, and then it really breaks into very focused information on the learning activities and resources. So this goes through each individual lesson and offers answers and important information concerning all the activities within the actual course. And again, as I mentioned, completely editable. Then we have the end of course assessment, which I'm going to show you. So within this actual course, we offer a end-of-lesson assessment and then a full end-of-course assessment. And again, we want to offer instructors as many resources and tools to make this as unique to their institution. So in some cases, you may want to offer more of a final for this course. Totally your choice. And again, that assessment is built directly into Moodle, so allows for optimal editing opportunities, and I'll show you that in a little bit. And then we offer this assessment suggested responses document, which is really, again, additional documentation tied to the short answer assessments. So again, really an instructor rubric. Okay, as we get past the course tools and resources, I'm going to move us into one of the lessons, and I'm going to go into Lesson 3, which is Nursing Informatics and Terminology. And as you can see, we've divided up the experience for the students so they can move through this content very easily. And again, instructors have that ability to really customize that experience for the learner so they can move their student and assign as needed these various items and activities. So we have a welcome area where the student is now taken to the actual learning objectives that are tied specifically to the lessons, again, opening up in a separate window, so allowing students the ability to toggle back and forth between those. And then we move into the study section. And this is really the foundation of the course content. And this is the interactive lecture. And I'm going to show you that opens up in a separate window. And as I mentioned before, we've really focused on making this a very exciting and positive online learning experience. So we've taken a lot of time, as Jen had mentioned earlier, working with instructional designers and e-learning professionals to really make this a positive experience and really to allow students to succeed in an online course. And we know that it's not always so easy to take an online course. So we've done things purposefully, which I'm going to point out, that really optimize that experience for them. So first of all, we have a very clean design. As you can see, students aren't going to be overwhelmed with the content. We've chunked the content into very digestible amounts of content so they don't feel like they're overwhelmed as they move through the content. And when there is more content to look at, we've broken it up into various ways, scaffolding, and breaking this out so that there's some level of engagement for the students. Just to point out some of the navigational tools that exist within the actual interactive lecture, students can navigate and really move through this either the traditional way where they always understand where they are on every screen, or they can move through this great menu tool. And this allows them direct access to various features in the course. One thing I want to point out as I move through this is we also have an audio feature. And I'm going to play the audio as I move through. This audio auto-plays as a student moves from screen to screen. And they can always turn the audio off if they'd like to. I'm going to turn the audio on, and I'm going to move to a screen so you can hear an audio summary of the page. And again, this really offers the student the ability to have some interest and really works with those learners that really need those auditory tools.
Many different systems for organizing nursing information and knowledge have been developed. These systems' terminologies for structured languages and vocabularies and ways of organizing are based on different needs.
This is an audio tool, and again, as I mentioned, autoplay, so students can easily turn that off. They can increase the volume or turn it off altogether. And it's a summary. Pointing out a couple of the other tools that are tied to the user interface for the interactive lecture. Students can print out each page if they like to. Again, this really works with those students that really feel the need to have something to work with. So we know we have digital natives, digital immigrants, we have some non-traditional students, people who are going back to school, and returning to the workforce or changing careers. And so we want to appease and really work with all those different types of learners. So some like to have print still, and maybe it's easier for them to take notes in this way. But for those who really like to be able to use a complete digital workflow, we have this great notes tool. So students can take notes per screen, and they can actually type right within the notes content here. And then they can print or save this document and refer to it later as they are testing and reviewing. So again, always allowing students to go back and test and review. We have closed captioning, which is tied to those audio introductions and summaries. And again, another glossary tool, which is a lesson level glossary tool. And so students can move through that and either browse or search. Again, making it very easy for them to focus. So I want to point out some of the other tools that we have within the interactive lecture. So this is much more than just content. And again, this content is above and beyond the content, the associated content with the text. So again, optimize for the learning experience for e-learning. So we want students to really succeed and focus on being able to review and practice using this content. So again, we have these built-in key terms, glossary terms that are in line. Students have some other really great tools to work with. We have these stop and think exercises, and again, those are really great tools that they can use to do review and practice. So here's an example of one of the stop and think activities. These really promote critical thinking and opportunities to really practice in a safe environment. So they're going to get immediate feedback, but they can go in and work with the content that they've already read through, and then they can check their answers at any time. See how I do here. I should get it right because I've shown this a few times. So I'm submitting my answers. Oops, I got something wrong. And if I want to get those answers immediately, I can actually see those answers. So I'm getting some feedback, immediate feedback, and I'm also seeing what is correct and not correct. Okay. Let me show you another example of one of those stop and think activities. And we set them up in various ways. So we have multiple response, drag and drop, case studies, many different ways for students to interact with this content. Here's an example of something that is really a review activity. So it's similar to a case study where they have a scenario, and then they're going to go through here and review the content using these tabs. Another example of a stop and think activity is a drag and drop or matching activity. So students can go ahead and match these terms, and then they can get immediate feedback. So again, very interactive and really allowing the student interest and opportunities to practice in a safe environment. And then they can really use this as a practice and review tool and use it as often as they'd like. The other feature that we have that are sprinkled within these lessons are case studies. Again, we know how important those sort of tools are in nursing, and these case studies exist within every lesson. At least a minimum of one case study exists. And they are set up in different ways. And these are really great tools that even instructors can use this as even something that would work in a discussion forum, or even if we're doing a hybrid, this is something that could be assigned as homework and brought into the classroom. So again, a really great tool that can be used in multiple ways. And there are suggestions about how those things can be used within that instructor resource guide. Just to point out a couple of the other tools in the interactive lectures, we have a summary page. So again, really focuses in on the key concepts within the actual interactive lecture and where the students can find that information. And then a references section, so students can go back and check references and review any of the content and find additional information. So again, the interactive lecture is really set up to be a great tool, easy to access and easy to use. So let me move quickly from that into the review and practice section. So students have moved from welcome to study, and now they're in review and practice. We have some practice activities, and again, in these lessons, there's a minimum of at least 2 practice activities within each review and practice section, and those, again, are set up in a way that allows students opportunities to practice in a safe environment. So the key difference here is that instructors can assign these. So you're not going to get anything in the grade book in terms of the actual answers, a grade for this, but you will be able to get a completion. So an instructor can assign these for homework or as different tools, and then they can submit and they get immediate feedback for these. In this case, again, the ability to be able to get that immediate feedback is key for them in terms of being able to review this content so that they can prepare for that assessment and evaluation piece. And again, as students move into that, we have some great opportunities for assessment and really understanding that instructors want different ways to assess their students. So we've offered discussion questions, assignments, and then a traditional assessment quiz. So I'm going to show you the discussion question. Again, there's always a minimum of 1 discussion question within each lesson and sometimes multiple discussion questions. The other thing that's great about these is they're built directly into Moodle or into your learning management system, so they're highly editable and you can also add additional discussion questions. So again, really offering students opportunities to work with their peers and giving opportunities for the instructor to be able to offer some really great integration and interactivity within the class. Now I'm going to show one of the assignments. And the assignments are traditionally written questions, so really allowing the student opportunity to show off their writing and always tied to APA style, certainly giving the instructor a lot of opportunity, again, to edit these. So if they want to do additional work with these questions or add additional questions, they can. And again, anything in the assess and evaluate section is gradable and assignable. So again, really offering instructors a lot of flexibility. And then the last thing I want to show you in assess and evaluate is the lesson quiz. And again, this is native to Moodle, so this test bank can be edited, this can be modified, and it is gradable and assignable. So again, allowing the instructor a lot of opportunity to customize this for their needs. And then I'm going to move on just to the resources section. And this is really a great area to allow the student to access additional web links that are tied to the content and are lesson specific. And then, once again, the references. And these are the references that are repeated from the lecture, the interactive lecture, but offered so that they don't have to open up that interactive lecture if they like to just access them directly. So a lot of features and opportunity for the instructor to customize, and certainly a product that really offers optimal integration into your curriculum and working with various learners in a really positive online experience. The only other thing I wanted to point out is that there is editing within the actual learning management system. For anybody who is familiar with the learning management system, especially Moodle, Moodle allows really easy access. So it's on-the-fly editing. As you can see, the tools that as soon as I highlight over any of the sections, you can go in and highlight those and edit the course as needed and really customize it to your needs. The other thing that I just wanted to point out is that you have the ability to add activities, different assignments, and utilize various features within the learning management system. Of course, dependent on your learning management system, those features may change, and you could add various resources as well. So as you can see, there's many tools. The other thing that is important to point out is we offer full onboarding and a lot of technical support when we offer these courses. So we like to really support the instructor and the students and make you as successful as possible. So we go through the learning management system and all of the back-end tools, the grading, and the gradebook functionality in great detail with you. So I'm going to open it up and bring this back to Jen Stiles, and she has a few more things that she wants to go over with you, and then we can take some questions.
Great. Thanks, Mary Colleen. Great presentation. And we have some, instructor feedback to share with you. We have, many instructors who are using this solution. They really love the flexibility of the course. They love the fact that if they were using one of our textbooks, that then they have, an online component with it as well. And I just wanted to share with you some of the comments that we have, received to date. One particular instructor told us that when they found out that we had a fully developed online RN to BSN curriculum that accompanied the nursing informatics textbook they were using by Dee McGonigal, that they took a look at it and they adopted it. They were really excited to add this digital component. Other instructors tell us that they love the interactive lectures and the stop and think questions for their students. And, we have yet another faculty member who tells us that they had a great experience tailoring the course to actually fit the course that they were teaching, and it's been a really wonderful tool for them. So we have some really positive feedback and positive testimonials that we wanted to share with you, because we do have, many schools, many faculty, and many students who are using this solution and who are really seeing some great outcomes in their course. Before we go over to the Q&A, I just wanted to share with you some product resource and information so that, after the webinar, if you go back and you want to try out the course on your own, or if you want to discuss this with a faculty member, you have some resources that you can rely on. You can try it today in our virtual sandbox, and to get there, you just need to visit jblnursing.com, and if you click on I believe it's the RN to BSN curriculum solution, you'll be directed to a page which has all of our courses, and then there's also a link that will take you to the sandbox demo. And to access the demo, you just want to fill in the username and password, which is nursing demo. Likewise, if you also visit the same community site, you can download the RN to BSN kit. That will list all of the courses. We'll give an overview of the courses and also have some mapping documentation there for you. And if you want a one-on-one product demonstration, we encourage you to reach out and to contact your sales rep, and you can do that directly from our website.